$1 million. For decades, it's been the default target for a comfortable retirement. But for a normal earner starting from zero, reaching seven figures feels like scaling a sheer vertical wall with no equipment. Because the summit looks unreachable, people often waste years hunting for a shortcut, searching for hidden investment secrets, speculative crypto moonshots, or a financial silver bullet that doesn't actually exist. The real mechanic is much simpler. Building $1 million portfolio relies on three variables: how much you invest, how aggressively you invest, and how long you let the money grow. Time is the dominant force here. It acts as a massive discount, dictating the out-of-pocket cash required to reach the goal. To see how that works, we have to reverse engineer the price tag of $1 million. Once you see the numbers, it becomes clear that you don't actually have to save $1 million to retire with it. Consider the first investor. They are starting with absolutely nothing, but they have 30 full years left before they stop working. With 3 decades of runway, the portfolio can afford to be steady. A mix of broad market funds and modest technology growth allows compound interest to do the heavy lifting, requiring a surprisingly small daily contribution. This is the 30-year price tag. Because the timeline is so long, only a small fraction of the final balance comes from personal deposits. Compound growth pays for almost everything else. But look at what happens when that timeline is cut by only a third. We have the same $1 million destination, but now we only have 20 years to get there. To compensate for lost time, the portfolio shifts to volatile companies, forcing higher risk. The personal cost jumps too. With a shorter window, the investor must carry the burden through their own paycheck, relying on intense discipline. Losing 10 years of compounding effectively means you have to manually buy the growth time would have provided for free. Then there is the 10-year scenario. At this stage, the window for compounding has almost closed. There are no shortcuts left. Reaching $1 million in a single decade requires a massive annual investment. You are essentially trying to outsave the market, which requires a high income and a level of consistency most households find impossible to sustain. To make the math work, the investor concentrates their money into high-risk sectors, creating a dangerously unbalanced portfolio exposed to extreme volatility. If the market drops at the wrong moment, there is no time left for a recovery. The strategy vanishes. Buying $1 million retirement in 10 years requires paying a severe premium, both in massive out-of-pocket cash and relentless financial stress. Comparing these three paths side by side, the lesson is clear. The destination was the same for everyone, but the FIAM receipts look completely different. The 30-year path let time build wealth. The 20-year path burdened the paycheck. The 10-year path demanded extreme sacrifice. Every year of delay adds a literal surcharge to your retirement. Each year you wait increases the total amount of cash you must eventually take from your own income to cross the finish line. Compounding is a powerful tool, but it has one non-negotiable entry fee: patience. Building wealth isn't about finding an extraordinary investment. It is about giving a good investment enough time to become extraordinary.